Hi there, myself Madhav Jha. I welcome you to CodeChef and let's have a look at this question.
The problem is accommodation. The problem difficulty is easy, and there are no prerequisites. Let's have a read at the problem. There are B boys and G girls who would like to take accommodation in a hotel. Now, the hotel has infinitely many rooms, and each room with a positive number of occupants must satisfy the following condition. A room must contain at least X boys and at least Y girls. Additionally, it should contain at most N people in total. So if you are talking about a room, it should have at least, that is, it should have greater than or equal to X boys. Similarly, it should have greater than or equal to Y girls. It should have at most, as in less than or equal to N people in total. Now we to determine the minimum number of rooms required to accommodate all people, that is, the combined sum of boys and girls, while satisfying the following constraints. And in case it is impossible to accommodate everyone, the output would be negative 1. As for the input format, we have t test cases, and for each test case, we'll have a single line that will have these 5 inputs b, g, x, y, and n. That is the number of boys, the number of girls, the lower bound of boys, girls, and the total count of people in a single room, that is n. As for the output, if it's possible, we have to output the minimum number of rooms, otherwise we output negative 1. As for the constraints, number of test cases will go from 1 to 10 raised to 5, and the value of the inputs will go from 1 to 10 raised to 9. Let's see some sample inputs. So for the first sample input, the count of boys is 10, the count of girls is also 10. The minimum or the lower bound for boys is 10, and the same is for girls. And the upper bound, that is n, is 20 here. What we can do is, in a single room, we can keep 10 boys and 10 girls. With this, we'll satisfy both the x and y condition as well as the n condition. Therefore, the answer here is 1. Let's see how we can approach the solution. We know that the total count of people that we have here is nothing but g plus b. And if we want to find out the minimum number of rooms that is required for us, what we can do is we can simply divide it by n, take its ceiling value, and we'll get the minimum number of rooms that is required to fit all of them. Now we need to check whether we are able to do the same and satisfy the condition for x and y. If we can do that, then in these rooms we can simply fit the number of boys and girls, and if we have anything left to spare, we can simply add them back. So with this will be the minimum room that we get with our formula. Then we'll check if r into x is less than or equal to the number of boys. Similarly, if r into y is less than or equal to number of girls, the total number of girls and total number of boys, it would mean that we can sufficiently fill all of them in these number of rooms, and our answer is r rooms. But if that is not the case, it means that we cannot fit them in r rooms, and it is impossible to do so because our upper limit is n that we have already used. So if there are remaining boys or girls, it means that we cannot fit them under the constraints. Therefore, in that case, the answer would be negative 1. And with this, we get our solution. Let's see how we can implement the solution in C++. So for each test case, we call the function solve, and in solve, we take the input of b, g, x, y, and n. The total number of people is nothing but the sum of count of boys and count of girls, that is b plus g. Then we find out the minimum number of rooms required, that is nothing but the ceiling value of total divided by n. To do so, we add n minus 1 to the total so that the floor value of this division will give us the ceil value if total were to be divided by n. This is an easier trick that we can use rather than using the inbuilt functions. Now once we have the minimum room, we need to check whether it satisfies the first and second condition of x and y. It means x multiplied by minimum rooms has to be less than or equal to the total count of boys, and similarly minimum rooms multiplied by y has to be less than or equal to total count of girls. If this condition satisfies, it means this is the answer. If this is not the case, it means that we will not be able to satisfy all three constraints and accommodate all the people. Therefore, in that case, answer would be negative 1. And as you can see, I have AC in my C++ implementation. Let's see how we can do this in Python. Again, for each test case, we call the function solve, take the input of b, g, x, y, n. Then we have the total, that is nothing but p plus g. The minimum room is total divided by n. Then we check if it satisfies the first and second condition. If it does, we print that, otherwise we print -1. And as you can see, I have got an AC in my Python implementation as well. So I hope you understood the problem, the approach, and how we can implement the solution in both C++ and Python. Have a very good day, and I'll see you in the next video.